before we do number 8, I'm going to make a slight change to the problem to make our answer come out a little bit more manageable. And I'm going to make this minus x instead of minus y. So go ahead and change that before we get started. And now we can go ahead and find the second derivative of this new equation by taking first the derivative of both sides to find our first derivative. So derivative on the left, derivative cosine is negative sine of y times derivative of y, which is dy dx. Minus derivative of x is just 1, and derivative of x squared is 2x. So we only have one dy dx here. We want to get it by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 to both sides. And we have opposite of sine of y times dy dx equals 2x plus 1. I want to get the dy dx by itself, so we're going to divide both sides by negative sine of y. So we have 2x plus 1 divided by negative sine of y. So that's our first derivative. We need to go ahead and find the second derivative from that. So for our second derivative, we do the quotient rule. Derivative of the top is just 2 times the denominator, negative sine of y. I'm going to put the negative out in front, so we end up with negative 2 sine of y, minus our first one here, our numerator, 2x plus 1, times the derivative of the bottom. So derivative of the bottom, well, derivative of sine is cosine, but we have a negative there, so that's going to make it negative cosine of y. But I'm going to go ahead, let's go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and take that negative and make this positive out here, because we're going to have negative sine of y. So cosine of y, and then times dy dx, all over our denominator squared. So for this denominator, we take negative sine of y times negative sine of y. We're just going to end up with sine squared of y. Up top, we don't want this dy dx in here. We need to go ahead and replace the dy dx with what it's equal to, what we found out in the first part of the problem. So we have negative 2 sine of y plus, I'm going to go ahead and put the cosine of y out in front. Cosine of y times 2x plus 1 times dy dx, we get 2x plus 1 over negative sine of y. So now we do a little bit of simplifying, and we can kind of put this all as one big expression over here. Negative 2 sine of y. I'm going to go ahead and make this minus, since this is negative. Multiply positive times a positive times a positive, but then divided by negative, it's going to end up being negative. We end up with cosine of y times 2x plus 1 squared all over sine of y. And that's all over sine squared. Now, if this were a different problem like our last one, I would go ahead and multiply sine of y top and bottom to get rid of this little fraction and the big fraction. But there's another way around it for this one. We can actually just simplify what cosine divided by sine is. And cosine over sine is cotangent. So we end up with negative 2 sine of y minus cotangent of y times 2x plus 1 squared all over sine squared of y.